Hey there. Hi, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to The Moment. I am your host with the absolute most, Cleo Berry. And on this episode right here, we're talking about the E word, evolution. No, not evolution of our world and all that type of stuff. The evolution of ourselves, right? Whether we go willingly or we're being drugged by life's lessons, we're always evolving, changing, and growing as a person and in our careers, right? Like me, for instance, I came into the entertainment industry, NYC conservatory trained, Tony nomination seeking, musical theater nerd. Now, I'm a Los Angelino, and I am a multi-hyphenate actor, singer, writer, host, entertainer, whatever you want to call me, I'm that. Okay? And I have more film and TV credits than I ever could have imagined when I first went to New York City, right? So keep chasing your dreams, your goals, and be malleable. Keep going until the new destination feels right to you. Let's do it, friends, okay? Now for some current events. Speaking of evolution, Hollywood is changing. It is evolving. Our norms are being taken down, and movie stars are dwindling. Your favorite movie star? Career's dwindling. It's happening. It's happening. Even movie theaters are becoming obsolete. When was the last time you set your butts down in a darkened theater and watched the movie? I'll wait. I'm still waiting. It's been a while, hasn't it? Same here, and I'm an actor. But you know what? Sometimes good comes from bad. You know, change is good. It can be good. So fingers crossed that this new Hollywood that is developing, let's hope that it is more inclusive and allows opportunity for everyone to shine. I'm talking about you and I, okay? Now, speaking of shining, my next guest is someone who I've known since junior high school. We have gone through life's ups and downs together, our high highs and low lows. We've experienced it. We have evolved together, okay? In fact, I live in Los Angeles because she came to New York City and drugged me kicking and screaming to the West Coast to a new way of living and a new type of career. And I'm so grateful and thankful for her for that, okay? You might know her as a series regular on Beautiful People on ABC, her work on the Hard Times of R.J. Berger, or the feature films Carla or The Dead Sleep. Everyone, please help me welcome an amazing actress, wonderful mom, and my bestie, Sarah Foret.
This is the moment, let's be clear. This is your moment, while you're here. This is the moment, let's be clear. This is your moment, while you're here. The
Hi, everybody, and welcome to The Moment. Thank you so much for joining us for a very special episode today. I am your hostess with the absolute mostest, Sarah Foret. Yes, no, don't go anywhere. You don't have to adjust your settings. You are in the right place. I bet you're wondering, where is Cleo and why isn't he sitting in this chair? Funny enough, that's what my first thought was when I was asked to be a part of today's show. But if you have been watching us from the beginning, you will know that this is a very special episode because it's Volume 1's finale, Season 1 finale. So Cleo and his team wanted to pull out all the stops today. I am so grateful and so excited to be a part of this episode. You see, when Cleo sits in this chair, he understands that asking people questions and getting curious is how he can learn and grow. In fact, that's how all of us learn and grow and connect. So before I get too sappy, let me take this moment to jump into the introduction for our next guest. Really, our next guest needs no introduction, but it is my honor to give it a try, okay? He hails from Little Rock, Arkansas, from humble beginnings where his parents thought he would grow up and be a football player just like his daddy. But his big personality and undeniable talent were, well, really undeniable. So he was enrolled into schools that had wonderful performing art programs. Shout out to Horace Mann at Parkview, whoop, 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 in the house. So instead of touchdowns and whatever else football players do. He was finding himself on stages, performing Broadway shows, and competing in singing competitions. But he soon outgrew that and knew the next step was the shining lights of the Big Apple. That's where he studied at the American Musical and Dramatic Academy. Now, just before graduation, he had the problem that all studying actors hope for. He had too many scheduling conflicts from acting to walk with his class. Destiny continued pushing him towards his path, and with traveling theater shows, commercials, and film roles. After years building a reputation and resume for himself in New York City, there was no natural next step but to come to Los Angeles, to Hollywood. Lucky us. He headed west, and he hit the ground running, guest starring in roles on shows like House, opposite Hugh Laurie, and Monday Mornings with Ving Rhames. He also played an array of comedic scene-stealing performances on shows like The Idiot Sitter and Weird City. Now he's doing voiceover work, touching hearts and audiences around the globe. The one common thread on his resume is the fact that there is no predictability and no recurring role for him. Don't put him in a box. Do you hear me? Ladies and gentlemen, friends of all kinds, what I need you to do is I need you to get on your feet and put your hands together. Give my best friend of more than 25 years, what you know about that? More than 25 years, the warmest welcome the show has ever given. Please give it up for the one and only, your host with the most, but not today, Mr. Cleo Berry.
What an intro!
Yes! Am I Jerry O'Connell to your Wendy Williams?
Sure!
It's working.
Sure,
It's working. Okay.
I love it.
You invited me to flip the seat for yourself.
And
How does it feel?
Flipped. It has been flipped.
How does it
I
feel
was
to sit in that
so
chair?
nervous during that whole opening. I was like, what's she going to say? What's happening? Now I see what everyone else feels like when they come onto the show. It was exhilarating, a little embarrassing, but also just like fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Did I leave any gaping holes?
No, there weren't any.
It says T on his, but I came with receipts. Got receipts.
I'm going to take a sip.
Good time for that. Well, let's jump into the first question that every audience member can't wait to hear from every guest that sits in that chair.
Okay.
What was the moment that you knew what your passion was in life?
Okay, let me see. The moment that I realized my passion in life, I guess I was about 10 years old, and we went to see a production of Oliver.
Okay.
My music teacher in elementary school, we were in elementary school at the time. Her
So
name
this
was
is Little Rock, Arkansas.
Little Rock,
folks.
Arkansas. Marianne Hansen was playing Nancy and Oliver,
Okay.
and she was playing it at Murray's Dinner Playhouse. And so it's like buffet style. It's 2 p.m. You know, we go through the buffet line, all of us little kids, like trying to pick out what we want to eat for the first time. And we sit down at these tables by ourselves. It's only us. Our parents aren't there. It's just the students.
Mm-hmm.
And the lights go down, and she comes on stage, and she's singing, and I'm like, who is that? Who is that? Like, she's
Did you
my teacher.
recognize her?
I recognized her, but who is this? And I was kind of like, what? Whoa.
Was this your first theater experience
Yes,
in an audience? Wow.
I mean, after that, our school took us to a lot of other, shows around Little Rock, but this was like my first time seeing someone that I knew on stage, like in front of me, doing their thing.
Transforming themselves into
and
a
doing
role.
their thing.
Wow.
And then the little kids came out on stage. And I'm like, okay, there's a little fat one. There's a skinny white one.
I can't.
And I'm like, and there's a black boy. There's a black guy on stage. Like, what is this?
Wow.
And seeing them sing and dance and act their hearts out so up close to, remember, this is dinner theater, so we're like up close. We're in it. We're part of it. And it just changed me. It completely changed me. I went back to school. And I asked her, how can I do this? How can I? And she's like, what? And I'm like, act. How can I do this? And she's like, I mean, if you really, really want to, I can show you. And I'm like, I want to.
Wow.
And she sat my mother and I down and told us how to do this, how to audition, who we needed to go to learn music for auditions. She gave me a pianist, Shannon, who was my first piano teacher. He taught me so much. He got me prepared for my first professional theater audition that I booked at the Arkansas Repertory Theater. Like,
Thank you, Miss Hansen.
yes, all
Also,
this-
thank you, Mom, for
seriously.
encouraging you, being open to you
Yeah.
taking that direction.
Because she didn't have to. You know, a
Right.
lot of moms don't. You want to do what?
Right.
Like, we don't do that. But she was kind of like, sure, let's do it.
That also touches on representation and how important it is for us to see people that remind us of ourselves in some way, whether it's a little black boy or whether it's a child instead of a grown-up. Or representation is so important to how we operate in this world.
It completely changed my life, and from that, I was like, oh, I can win at something.
Oh, wow.
Like, I can do this, you know? And I think
this is something I'm good at.
I think my mom and I really connected with that in the beginning. Like, I mean, she brought me my first bouquet of flowers and balloons when I booked the thing that Miss Hanson taught me, you know, to the Arkansas Children's Theater. The Arkansas Repertory Theater. I booked my first professional repertory because of her. And so my mom brought me balloons and flowers, and it was kind of like, we did this together. It was like how we bonded for the first time that I can remember.
Wow.
So yeah, it was awesome.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Do you differentiate between actor, artist, entertainer?
No.
Do you feel that you are all of them, or
yes.
you were just all of them are different lanes?
Yeah.
And is there a title that suits you or represents you best?
Everyone says multi-hyphenate, but
and if it was a multi-hyphenate, what would the hyphenate be for you?
That actor, singer, writer, director, host. I just feel like
creator.
I'm an entertainer, creator. Creator is probably the best word. Creator.
I feel like that encompasses all of that. Yeah. How has your relationship with the industry changed as you've evolved along with it? And what do you think the role of a creator is in these days?
Okay, I'm going to take the first part first. How have I changed?
How have you evolved in this ever-evolving industry?
I would say I evolved because the pandemic break gave me time to say what else is available. If I can't act right now, what can I do?
Ooh.
And so it forced me to be a creator.
Necessity is the mother of all.
Right. So it was like, I remember sitting down with Cassidy and being like, we have this time.
Yeah.
Let's do something. So we wrote like 3 or 4 pilots in like a 6-month span to just take advantage of the downtime. And
as you evolved out of that, what do you think your role and all the other entertainers, creators out there, what is the responsibility of a creator in this industry, in this time, in this world?
The responsibility is to tell the story that you feel like needs to be told.
Oh, I love that.
Not the story that everyone else wants you to tell, not the story that the industry is looking for right now.
Yes.
Tell the story that's on your heart to tell.
That is living inside of you.
Yes, and I feel like you can't go wrong telling your story.
That's my best friend, folks. That's my best friend.
I cannot. I absolutely cannot.
You are a vision board maker. For those of you who don't know at home, Cleo is a staunch vision board maker. Also, a little side note, we were roommates here in Los Angeles many eons ago, a few lifetimes ago.
Yes.
And I can vouch I have the receipts. He used to make us make vision boards every New Year.
They work. To all you naysayers out there, I have been using a vision board.
In this room, too.
Yes. I have been using vision boards since I was in elementary school. Before I knew what the phrase vision board was, I have always been doing it. There's always been a goal or an objective on my wall, on the inside of my closet door that says, I want this, I'm going after this, this is the next step.
But he means that.
It has gotten me through every aspect of life, and it's so important to me. Manifestation, going after what you want, is a part of who I am to the core.
Yes. Now, what visions would you credit your vision boards in helping you achieve? And what visions from your vision board do you look forward to still achieving?
Everything I've accomplished has been on a vision board.
Wow.
So in my whole life, whether it's getting a specific agent, whether it's residing in a specific city, whether it's, living the year how I want to live the year. A vision board. This show was on a vision board last year, and it came true. You know what I'm saying? So everything has changed. It's inspired, changed, and brought about everything in my life. Manifestation.
And what are you manifesting for the future that we can, is there something that you can share with us that you're manifesting that you're looking forward to?
Of course, I would love to tell you because it puts it out into the universe and hopefully draws it back to me.
Yes.
So I will say that I have 2 movies in my head right now that are already written, and I'm figuring out how to get them off of their feet to film them. At least one of them by the end of 2025. So you guys have heard me. You've heard me now.
Accountability.
Accountability. I'm putting it out there so you guys can either help me do one of those, or you can bring me something that I can direct or star in or act in, whatever. But it's the train is moving, and so that's next.
Get on board, folks.
Yes,
Get
that's the
on
next
board.
goal.
Now, one of my personal favorite things about your career.
Oh, stop it.
No, I really genuinely mean this, is how, because we do self-tapes with each other sometimes and things like that.
Yeah.
And I love your ability to go out for these roles that on the page are not yours or they're not for you. Let's rewind a little bit to your Parkview days in Little Rock, Arkansas.
PV.
Woo woo, go Patriots! And walk us through The Wiz. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I will have you know that this man here smashed it as the role of Eveline in The Wiz. That's the Wicked Witch. Yes. In heels, no less.
Yeah. Well, we had some sort of boots.
Right.
Elevated boots.
They were elevated.
Yeah. Talk about The Wiz?
Like, tell us how you went from auditioning for, I want to say, The Lion?
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we can start there. So, when I heard that the school was doing The Wiz, hello, prime character, lead right here. Okay. So, The Lion. I'm going to do The Lion. That's all that was in my brain and my heart. My soul was The Lion.
But the universe had a different plan.
Well, then the directors had a different plan. We started off with me auditioning for The Lion, and eventually I started getting songs for Eveline, and it was kind of like, hold up now, what, ha, something's off. And then the list goes up at school. Y'all remember at school, you get your character, the cast list up, and everyone's crowding around it, and then who am I? And I'm scrolling down those first 4 to get to The Lion, because I'm The Lion.
Right.
And it says Ryan Stone. Now, I know Ryan Stone, and he's not a lion.
We love you, Ryan Stone.
I love you, Ryan.
No hate.
He wasn't a lion. I'm the lion.
Right.
At least in the world. And that didn't happen.
No.
And I scrolled on down because I was about to give up.
Oh, glad you didn't.
And it said Eveline Cleo Berry. And I said, what the heck? What is that? Eveline?
So your initial reaction was like, no, what? Huh?
There's gotta be this is wrong.
How long did it take you until you were embracing that? And I mean, was it after the production that you were like, I did that?
I would say after the first week of performances. Mm-hmm. It took performances.
So you really had to trust the process.
The audience. It took me listening to the audience to go, oh, they were right. The production was right. Like, they knew what they were talking about. And they had been telling me that, well, they actually told me that as soon as they saw the incoming class, that they realized that they could do the production. Like, previously, there was no way that they could do the production because they didn't have the actors who had the skills to do it.
Oh, wow. So they'd been benching The Wiz until
for a long time, until they had the cast that they can do it.
Wow.
So this whole time, they already knew what was happening.
You didn't have to audition, basically.
They already knew what was going on, what was going down.
Yeah.
But it changed everything in my life and my career after that, because I went in thinking this is the only role that's available for me and the only role that I can do. Mm-hmm. And I came out being like, oh, wow. I can play a woman.
Opens my world, right.
Right. And in Little Rock, Arkansas at the time, this is 2001,
Especially in
2000.
Little Rock, Arkansas. Yeah.
Ain't nobody playing a drag queen on a stage. Like, that's not happening.
Is it happening now in Arkansas?
No. It would be a humongous thing. But it happened in 2001.
Wow.
And that changed a lot for my career, you know?
Again, talk about representation.
Yeah.
I wonder how many students saw you do that and that opened their world.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Wow. Shout out if you are one of those people that your world was made bigger by watching Cleo on the stage or in film and TV. You have worked with some powerhouses in your time.
Okay.
Not to name drop, but I'm gonna. We got John Legend. We've got Hugh Laurie we mentioned. Ving Rhames we mentioned. Raven Simone. Out of everyone that you've worked with, is there someone that stands out in your mind that really taught you something on set or really taught you something about this industry or the craft that just sticks with you that you could share with us and the audience?
I would say first off would be Hugh Laurie.
Mm-hmm.
From being on a set with him and watching him, I learned to give it your all on a set.
Mm-hmm.
He would literally go, they would say action, I would come in and do my role and people would laugh or do whatever they do. And he would say, how do you feel? Do you good? Are you good? Or would you like another one?
Oh, he gave you
Do you feel like you can do more? Or do you, I'm like, I'm good. Let me do more. Let me go do some more. And he's like, yeah, do what you think. Okay. Everybody, come on. Like, and he taught me like to just don't be afraid to
give yourself permission
and to ask for another take if you want to. Even if you thought that one was good, do it. Let's make sure. And I would see him in between breaks. Someone made a mistake and they folded the bed sheets down and we were coming back to go straight back into that scene again. And he was like, no, they were like this. And this corner was folded like this.
Wow.
Like his brain just memorized the entire set, not just what he needed to do, what his motivation was, but the motivation for everyone and what they needed to do as well in the room. There was probably about 20 people filming in this. And so it was eye-opening, like watching him be a series regular and run the set as a producer and know this and know that and know this. And Raven Simone, she taught me that sometimes you're right. Sometimes your instincts as an actor are right. There might be a director, there might be, whoever else there who is trying to take you on a different journey, and you can go down that journey with them, but ultimately it might not work out, and you might need to revert back to what you originally brought in the audition to give the show what it needs to get that laugh, and don't be afraid to be malleable again, to do what you need to do to get the joke. And I would say a line, and I would come back the next day, and it'd be added to the script.
Oh, wow.
And because of that,
so had you not taken that risk, that wouldn't have lived in that project.
And moving forward with that, I did
come through confidence with no ego.
Seriously, yes. I did a show with Jamie Foxx. I guess on a Netflix show with Jamie Foxx called Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me. And because of the Raven Simone info, I was able to go to that set and be like, I love what they're doing, but I feel like if I say this, or if I say that, if I add this to it, it'll bring it out more. And I did that on a set with an Oscar winner. Wow. And the next day it was added into the script, my jokes.
Don't be afraid
to collaborate. Don't be afraid to give it your all, no matter who's looking.
Bring your preparation.
Right.
Everybody wants you to bring your preparation to the set.
You have to. Bring you. Whatever it is that you're bringing, bring it fully.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to do that.
Yes.
And so I thank them for that time and that information and that care. Because as an actor, sometimes you feel like when you go on a set, you just have to focus on yourself. But when you're a series regular, all these other qualifications come in and all these other necessities, and they taught me how to be a series regular and give back.
Oh, yeah.
And so I will never forget that.
Difference between a good leader and a loud one. What one piece of advice would you give yourself that you wish you had that you would share with our viewers at home that are starting out on their journey for this profession?
Okay. I would say be more malleable, because when I went to New York City, I had this idea that I was doing musical theater. I was a musical theater nerd. I studied all the classic musicals. I knew everything that was current. I went to a musical theater conservatory. I was only thinking about Tony Awards. I was only thinking about New York City. And then I got there and was like, I don't think I can do these types of roles day in and day out without changing anything. Like, I need something different. I need something more. And by doing commercials and eventually films, it taught me, oh, there's a different type of acting. There's something else out there, and it might fit you more. Don't be afraid to go after it. So
I'm hearing don't think that you have to have all the answers.
you can't. Especially when you're going to college, you're moving from a sheltered existence to just anything is possible city like New York City. Like, be ready to roll with the punches, because you just never know what's going to come at you. You never know which streets you're going to go down, and things are going to change for you. So
ready for anything.
Ready for it, yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, be malleable.
Love that. Finally, I would like to ask you, what is the most valuable thing you've learned from your volume 1 of hosting The Moment? What has been your biggest takeaway and lesson on this part of your journey specifically?
To roll with the punches.
Again, that's got that malleable energy.
Because I will
evolving.
We shot this. You and I shot this pilot a year,
wasn't it,
to the month before we actually started shooting this show. And the reason is because I wanted everything to be perfect. And I didn't even want to put this show out until I had every guest already shot. My brain works like that, as a package deal. How can I package this? How can I, and then do everything? And
a lot of artists need that perfection.
Yeah,
right?
And I
control.
Work in that space.
Yeah.
And doing this show has taught me that you just have to start.
Wow.
You just need trusted confidants beside you, like Byron, who will say, let's get this done. Let's do it. What are you waiting for? Let's go.
Right.
And it's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
It might not even be good.
Is a myth.
It might not even be good. I feel like a lot of our episodes were good, but other things that people do, it might not be good, but just the fact that you're starting
and doing,
you're getting something out there, and then you can learn and progress from there.
Yeah.
That's what this show has taught me. And I'm excited for the next projects that I do in my career and in my life.
Yes. Well, friends, please don't go anywhere. This has been great asking questions with Cleo, but we're going to come back and play a game. We can't say the name of the game, but it has a lot to do with a game called... It looks a lot like... So don't go anywhere. Come back. We're going to have a lot of fun. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this extra special episode of The Moment with your one and only Cleo Berry as our guest today.
Howdy.
Yay! You have come to the portion that you all have grown to love. It is the part where we are playing a game that is nothing like or everything like. You know how to do this. We know how to do this. Cleo, tell us the charity of your choice today. Who are we playing for? Who are you playing on behalf of?
I am playing on behalf of and for Project Angel Food. And they deliver medically, thought out food for those who need it around the city. People who are going through AIDS and illnesses. They will deliver food to your door. And you and I have actually gone there to volunteer before in their kitchen. So it's a charity that I love out here in LA. So go donate if you can, or go volunteer.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much. What a great cause. So without further ado, let's jump in. Are we doing actions or are we doing movies?
Let's start with actions.
Action.
Is that an action?
This is action.
Give me something good. Give me something good.
This is going to be so good. Is the timer ready? What is it? It's 90 minutes. 1 minute. I thought it was a minute and a half. It's rude. Okay.
We can do a minute and a half.
Okay. 10.
When you're ready.
Ready when you are.
Let's go. Filming a movie.
Yes! One down. Who needs a minute and a half?
One to go. Mowing a lawn.
Yes! Tell me we're best friends without telling me we're best friends.
Dancing. Ballerina.
Dancing up.
Tango. Pas de bourrée. Ballerina.
Dancing up. Okay, dancing a ballet.
Oh, ballet.
Okay.
I feel like I should have got that one. Didn't I say ballet?
Okay, maybe so.
Afraid? Shocked. Frightened. Reading a book.
Visiting a zoo. How do I?
A zoo?
No, so sorry. Oh my God. Okay.
Driving Miss Daisy. Running somebody over. Spinning the block. Cutting a curve. Hit a curve. Spinning. Fly.
Chasing a tornado. Okay, we had a hot start, and let's get back on. Okay.
Food fight. Yes! Ah! Come on.
Okay.
10, 9, 8.
Threading a piece of clothes. Sewing clothes.
Yes. Sewing a dress.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Baseball. Hit the baseball.
Yes, playing baseball.
We got it?
Did we get it? Did we get 10?
I didn't count.
You know what? We're so generous here at the moment that we are donating to Angel City Food, irregardless of how many we got.
Project Angel Food.
Thank you, Project Angel Food. And I do have the receipts. We really did volunteer. I just, a little bit with the words sometimes gets a little complicated. But, friends, there's one last question I would like to ask you,
What?
Cleo. Yes,
Okay.
one last question
Okay.
before we go. This episode has been so much about evolving and manifestation. We talked a lot about representation today too. So how do you feel that representation and manifestation go hand in hand? Do you feel that you were able to manifest because you saw yourself represented, or do you feel that you manifested representation for yourself first? How
Good question.
the relationship
I would
with
say
those.
that along my journey, I've been able to see someone close up do something extraordinary that led me to believe that I can do it too, or some version of it, and I'm going on the journey to do it. So it matters a lot in not just the beginning, but throughout a person's life, seeing someone like them achieve, you know? And when I was coming up there, we're still now getting first for Black people.
Right.
You know, first female Black and Indian vice president.
Right.
Trying to go for president. You know, we're getting the first of Black people still.
Yeah.
So as a little Black boy growing up in Little Rock, Arkansas, seeing a music teacher up close be Nancy and Oliver taught me I can do it. Walking in Times Square and seeing your face on a billboard taught me I can do it too, you know? Seeing you as a series regular taught me I can do it. Seeing, you know, other friends have taught me along the way that I can do this. So representation matters. I hope to keep seeing, you know, new versions of that so I can hope to do more things. I can dream of more things. And I hope that I also get to show other little Black boys, girls, Indian, Spanish, that they too, whether they're skinny, big, short, stout, tall, lanky, that they too can achieve a dream because they've seen someone do it.
Yes. Never underestimate the power you have at home.
I don't mean to interject, but Issa Rae, girl, this is our last episode of this first volume season. So next season, honey, we are expecting you to be in this seat. I don't want to say expecting, we're hoping. We are exhilarated. We are excited about possibly having your presence in our studio and on this show, okay? So whenever you feel like it, whenever you have some free time, whenever your spirit says, go be with Cleo, we will be here with you, okay, waiting, all right? So
it's not a matter
hope to talk
of
to you later.
If, only when.
Of when. I know that's right. I know that's right.
Come on.
So, girl, we'll see you soon, all right?
Soon.
Everybody, be great, and we will see you next season. Bye.
See you.
This is the moment, let's be clear.